Hi all, welcome back to this channel and our kayaking adventures. We are on our way to the Horseshoe Boat Access where we are taking the drop car. Then we will go to Penrose to put in, which is where we took out last week. We are tackling another 10 miles of the French Broad River. This is going to put us at 40 miles of the French Broad River that we have done since the series began. We had a little bit of rain this week, so the water levels were up. However, it was at the beginning of the week, so now it has settled back down. It's a little bit higher than we'd like, but it's still at a safe paddling level, even though this is unfamiliar territory. So let's get started. Captain's log, quarantine date, April 18th, 2020. Several weeks have passed since Governor Cooper had issued a stay-at-home order to the North Carolina citizens. While during the work week, we had mostly been observing that order of staying home, confined to our quarters, with the exception of an occasional neighborhood walk or gathering of provisions at the local market. The weekends were our reward, a time for some much-needed fresh air and river solitude. It's always peaceful when you're on the river. Social distancing on the water can cure what ails you. We still had several miles left of the river to paddle as part of our 2020 French Broad River Challenge, and this section from Penrose to Horseshoe would be the last section that we were unfamiliar with. Completing this section would be the last of the uncharted sections, but only half of our 85-mile goal. Much like the previous 30 miles, the next 10 miles would have many fallen and overhanging trees. The temperatures were in the mid-60s, and it was looking like it was going to be a good day. As I mentioned in the intro, we have had heavy rains earlier in the week. We weren't even sure we would be able to make this trip. The river levels were up considerably on the previous Monday. However, by Saturday, they had gone down enough to make it a safe trip. We watched the water discharge levels, which are provided by the USGS on their website. Once they rise to a certain level, we don't get out on the water. We'd rather have fun, not become a statistic by getting out on the water when it's unsafe. The trees are starting to get their leaves, which makes the ambience less dreary looking. The river is starting to feel more alive. Soon there will be birds, such as blue herons, osprey, and egret, taking up residence and hunting for fish along this river, and soon your paddling adventure on these waters will take on a different experience. Other animals you might spot along the river are deer, beavers, otters, turtles, and possibly a black bear, although I have only seen 2 bears on all my adventures on the French Broad, and both times they were crossing the river from one side to the other. It was an amazing experience. During our 10-mile journey, there is another public river access point at Blantyre, which is 34 miles past the headwater. If you wanted a shorter trip, you could put in at Penrose and take out at Blantyre for a 4-mile paddle, or you could put in at Blantyre and take out at Horseshoe for a 6-mile paddle. If you wanted to create your own adventure along the French Broad River, you can check out FrenchBroadPaddle.com, which maps out all the public river access points as well as some other useful information. You will just want to plan a shuttle or a second vehicle, since it is fairly difficult to paddle against the current to get back to your starting point. I'll put a link to that website in the description. Completing this 10-mile stretch would be the last portion of the river that we had not yet paddled before. Overall, I have enjoyed the first 40 miles of the French Broad River. The next section we plan to kayak is from Horseshoe to Westfield Park. We have done one river cleanup on this section and one leisurely trip, and from what I remember, it was a relaxing area. That portion will be the last 10-mile section that we can complete while the COVID-19 quarantine is going on. After Westfield Park river access, we would then enter Buncombe County, and Buncombe County has closed the majority of the river access points. We could possibly find some stealthy places to enter and exit the river, but I would much rather take you to the public access points so that if you decide you want to kayak the river, you'll be more comfortable with the area. I haven't yet decided how to proceed. Should we go back and revisit some of the earlier sections? Should we press on and find our own non-public routes? We'll have to see what the weather holds and how antsy I get wanting to get back on the river. Thank you for watching this video. Hope that you have enjoyed our French Broad River adventure. Comment on what you think we should do once we complete the next 10 miles, and join Team Kayak 7 Seas by subscribing to this channel.